welcome here to a very special edition of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We are on site, on location at the Superfield of Dreams here at Carrier Park, celebrating Syracuse Challenger baseball. And I am here for a very special sit-down conversation with John and Laura Lally. How are you both?
Awesome.
And just to be here in this moment, what I find to be unique and kind of a full circle moment is the last time we sat down, you spoke about how much you like to give back to the community, and you brought up Syracuse Challenger baseball. You talked about how much it means to you, and of everything that you spoke about, this was the one that I really felt like you had so much passion and want to talk about. So I'd love to kind of revisit that and say that we once kind of shared some thoughts about it, but now we're living in the world of Syracuse Challenger baseball and just what it means to you.
Today feels like a full circle moment, and we've shared our story many times with other donors, and we all share a very similar journey. Dom asked us to come to a game and get an idea of what it was all about, and we went to a game and our hearts exploded. We couldn't wait to become part of this organization. It was probably the easiest money ask anyone's ever had to do. It's genius.
Also, if I'm sitting here looking out at the field with the kids playing right now, the facilities here are absolutely incredible. That these kids get an opportunity to play on basically college type facilities, yeah. And it's just spectacular to watch the enjoyment that you see in the faces of all these kids.
What were the first things that went through your minds and hearts when you first came to a Syracuse Challenger game?
Oh, what are you going to tell them about me tearing up?
John started crying, which...
Tearing up. That's different, just for the record.
I call him a grizzly teddy. He's mushy. He's a tough exterior, but he's all mush on the inside. But I think both the players and the parents resonated with us because we grew up with kids in sport, and we know how important the relationships are with the other parents, yeah. And how you're going to be at a ball field from 10 in the morning until 6, and you've got some kids playing lacrosse and some kids playing soccer, and some of your kids are going to be playing baseball. And I thought how nice for these parents to have that normalcy of they also get the relationships that you build when your kids are in sports. And obviously for the kids, I felt it was such a game changer for them, no pun intended, that they get to participate and feel the pride and the confidence, the camaraderie that goes along with being on a team. And I think it helps everyone, not just emotionally, but I think cognitively that helps with development and their physical therapy. It's all intertwined.
Yeah, and if you get a chance, you should take the opportunity to come out and see what's going on here. The programs are incredible. The facilities, there's playgrounds on one side. There's a soccer field that's taken over one of the fields. The Challengers playing on a couple of the other fields, and there's girls softball. Some of the other fields, I think there's 7 or 8 fields total.
It feels like there's 20.
Yeah.
I mean, it just feels so much. It's so much bigger than we had imagined. When you're trying to get a visual when there's big mounds of dirt everywhere, and yeah. But seeing it, the drone footage that they had on social media helped a lot. But it's spectacular, and there's food stands, and there's places for you to eat and rest, and it's just a fun epicenter.
Yeah, it's a tremendous impact for the entire community.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's the thing here is not only is it the home, the Superfield of Dreams at Carrier Park for the Syracuse Challenger baseball, but also looking at the fact that this is now a home for the community, be it basketball, baseball, lacrosse, soccer. There's so much that can be had here. I grew up 10 minutes away, maybe 10 minutes away from here on the north side, and I didn't have anything like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we didn't either.
So I feel like it it speaks to the development of the community. It speaks to a passion project, really, for everybody living here. That, I mean, to me, it screams opportunity, community, togetherness, and a future that's going to be a heck of a lot brighter for Central and Upstate New York.
Think about it. How many recreational communities have all AstroTurf fields? I mean, you're lucky if you could come up with one, much less a whole complex of AstroTurf, and it's state of the art facilities at the town and the community level, and it's just absolutely amazing. I walked out there and looked around, going, "Shoot!" I mean, when I was at Syracuse, our AstroTurf, and again that was in the '80s, was not that good. This field is better than what we had at Syracuse in the '80s.
One of the gentlemen that was taking us around kind of on a little tour before everything got going was telling us that each field won't be flooded with water ever because of the irrigation systems that are under the fields are done so that everything gets drained out. So there's not those rain, the next day you can't play on a field because it's underwater.
Well, dirt fields, you can't play until it dries out.
Yeah.
And think of it growing up, how many games got canceled because of weather. And we all know it never rains in Syracuse, right?
Or snows.
There snows, right? Well, this time of year, if you're getting too much
hailed
snow.
on Monday. Somebody told us it hailed on Monday.
It has snowed on Mother's Day. I came back from Florida around Mother's Day time to a full-blown snowstorm. So
yeah, well, we're not complaining because Florida at this time of year is hotter than the surface of the sun. So we're happy to be here for many reasons.
Well, and to the point of, speaking about the AstroTurf and just the impressiveness and the ability for these fields to not be in a state where you have to cancel a game or postpone games. I talk to and work with high schools and colleges and universities all throughout this community that don't have the facilities that the Syracuse Challenger baseball programs now have. I mean, I know there's colleges that are around the corner from here that are probably eyeing these fields. I know that, there's a lot of high schools that are trying to get turf for baseball and softball. So this is a home that really speaks to the entire community and facilities that, you can't boast of really anywhere else here. I mean, this is the state-of-the-art facility that I think a lot of people are going to make phone calls to, but I definitely applaud the town of DeWitt and all the powers that be that said, whoever wants to be here, this is a community place, but Syracuse Challenger baseball has precedence.
Absolutely. I thought that was really special when they announced that, and I think it brought a tear to Dom's eye. So.
Yeah, and this is a model for a public-private partnership that it took commitment from both sides to get something of this caliber set up and ready for the community.
I have to ask a very important question. Who do I have to talk to, and what will it take for me to get my own Challenger jersey, since you're both wearing them and I am not?
We have two sets of jerseys. When the kids went to the 2 years
World
ago
Series.
when they went to the World Series for Challenger Baseball, we got jerseys, and I think we could put a good word in for you. We'll vouch
We might
for
know
you.
we might know somebody that can help out.
Well, the executive director you made mention of, Dom Cambereri, I got to do a feature with him and speak with him about many layers of his story and why he wanted to do something like this. Hearing his message and 20 years in the making, just what that means to both of you. First and foremost, your experience personally with Dom, and then to see that this is truly his passion project and something that he's poured his heart and his soul into.
Well, Dom is infectious. I mean, you talk to Dom, you're ready to run through a wall for him. You're like, yes, what do we have to do? What do you need? I think the special thing about Dom is that this is a project that was grounded in love for his children, and the disappointment when his first son wasn't able to play, and the tears and the heartbreak over that. I mean, he's just a 5-year-old little boy.
Yeah.
And we've all been that 5-year-old kid that wanted to play baseball or softball or a sport, and he just unfortunately wasn't able to play because of the constraints on fields and volunteers, and there wasn't a program. So it was almost like divine intervention, and Dom was put there in that place to stand up and say he wanted to take on that challenge. And he's been doing that for so long out of love for his children. So you can't find anything more pure and motivating than the love for your children and what you want for your children. So it's just a special story.
Yeah, he's a special person. When you look at the amount of time and effort and the never quit attitude for not just weeks or months, he's been driving this dream, so to speak, for years. And his commitment to pulling the right group of people together and doing the fundraising. We all know fundraising's not an easy thing, mainly when you're talking about the magnitude of the project they have going here. To be able to watch that materialize has been just super special for Dom, and we're just glad we could play a small part of the project.
And he's tenacious. You know, he's going to keep at it. He's going to keep at it. And we were laughing while everyone was speaking, and I said to John, "Can you imagine trying to dodge Dom?" Like, here he comes, and you know he's so friendly and warm. It's you know you're not trying to dodge him, but he's so tenacious that he'll find you. He was born to be in development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you speak on being a part of this, the video boards that got unveiled in a very special way at this Superfield of Dreams grand opening at Carrier Park, to have SpongeBob, to have Cookie Monster, Kelly Clarkson, Dick Vitale, as well as Michael Kay. And I mean, to see all of these people come together and to share in this message of welcoming everybody in and saying that this is truly a place for everyone. We saw those on the boards, and on those boards as well, when we look to them, this is part of your donation, it's part of your passion, it's part of your give back, that all these video boards that we see around the Superfield of Dreams and here at Carrier Park are coming from you as a family, and just why you wanted to do something of this nature and why you wanted to have, again, we talk about the fields being unlike a lot of what you see in central and upstate New York. There's a lot of colleges and universities that took forever to get video boards, maybe don't have video boards yet, and now we're looking at this. I'm traveling around the country and I'm seeing these fields and seeing the boards and saying to myself, this is AAA baseball. This is real deal. This is like guys that are fighting to get into the majors. You're giving something through your family that makes this look even more professional and makes these kids feel like they truly are the champions of the community. So I want to thank you for the video boards, because I love them, and I love the fact that they got unveiled by really showing us around the country just how many people, and for me as a kid, that Cookie Monster was a part of it.
Cookie Monster's my favorite too. Yeah.
Love Cookie Monster. They wanted to make him Veggie Monster at one point, and I said, please don't do that. Please don't do that. So just to the video board side of it, why not just donating, but to specifically say, let's give these video boards to this community, to this project, why you wanted to do something like that?
Really was very simple. We were in our backyard in Florida relaxing, and we were talking to Dom, and we said, what's your biggest dream on this donor list? You know, what do you want the most? What would be the icing on the cake for you? What would matter the most? And he said the video boards, and we said, okay.
Yeah, it takes and impacts the entire community. Although Challenger Baseball was the motivation for us to make this donation, the impact on the Syracuse community, just look at the number of families and kids that are here at all different levels of skill set, all different levels of athletic ability, but all enjoying a beautiful day in Syracuse, playing baseball, soccer, lacrosse, or whatever.
When John was touched on that, one thing that happens to us everywhere we go, but it just happened to us last night. We were at dinner, and one of the waitresses that we love and we've become close with came over to us, and she was crying. And she said, my best friend's son plays for Challenger Baseball, and she's so excited for tomorrow. And thank you for all you do in the community. But we were already connected with her, but we felt even more connected with her because everybody has somebody in their family, whether it's your immediate family or it's someone you consider family, a next door neighbor or a best friend. And everyone's life is touched by a child with special needs. And it brings us together, strangers and people you've met many times and had no idea. It bonds you in a way that's hard to describe.
Right. And it's important. Athletics is important to a lot of young people, and allowing the opportunity for these kids to come out and play baseball all summer long is just tremendously gratifying.
Absolutely.
And we look at, to someone who is given much is asked, so to speak, and you have had the opportunity to build as a family, and you've raised so much, you've done so much in your lives, and some people hoard that. And they hold on. I say some people stay rich because they don't spend, right? They just kind of hold it all together. And then some people stay rich in life beyond money because they reinvest and they want to pay it forward. We know that you give so much to Syracuse University. To extend out to so many other areas, including Syracuse Challenger Baseball, why is that important to you to say, yes, the Lord has blessed us, but how can we give to someone else? How can we pay it forward? How can we make sure that somebody has opportunity that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise? Because I think that that's incredibly important to speak on the fact that your family continues to give and finds ways to help. So just why Syracuse Challenger Baseball specifically?
Well, we always go into every relationship that we have, we with kind of the mantra that we never wanted to be just a name on a building. And as we've spoken before, we don't like the word philanthropist. We like that we're engaged with the community, or community connectors is what we strive to be. And making someone else's life easier is where we find our fulfillment. And as we've said before, we don't find our fulfillment through likes on the internet, and we don't find our fulfillment through ribbon cuttings and a lot of flash. We rarely do interviews. I think we've only done 2, and they've been with you.
Thank you.
So when we have an opportunity to promote something like Challenger Baseball that takes the focus off of us and puts it on the kids that are really needing this and the families really needing this, that's tremendously rewarding to us.
And helping the community.
100%, because this is going to serve children of all needs. And there's not going to be a kid in Central New York that doesn't come here and play at least once on these fields.
Yeah, I feel like if I was, right now I want to do it because I'm always going to have the kid spirit in me, but I feel like I would have jumped the fence and ran out of this
I
field.
was going to run the bases, but I didn't want to pull a hamstring. So.
You
that
can
would
do
happen.
it. You can run at the speed that you want to run it at. But in the effort of being big kids, as we always do here on Wake Up Call, we're going to play a little bit of rapid fire here with the Lallys as we celebrate the Superfield of Dreams, Carrier Park, and Syracuse Challenger Baseball. So we're going to go round robin as we did before. We could ask any question. And so, John, you get to ask the first question to Laura.
I get to ask the first question to Laura. All right, so little known fact, who's a better softball, baseball player?
Who's better?
You or me?
Me.
And then
Me.
why didn't you want to throw out the first pitch today?
Okay, so I played softball in college.
Yes.
And I recently fell off a horse and tore my rotator cuff, and so I have problems with my throwing arm. John wanted to embarrass me and
Not
say,
true. Not true.
and solidify himself as the better baseball, softball player, but he has no idea what he's doing. They put him in as a catcher when he was growing up because he was just massive.
I could block a home
He
plate.
blocks home plays, but kids were getting injured, and John was just leveling them. So yeah, no question, I'm much better,
So this was not
softball player.
This was not to embarrass Laura. This is self-preservation for John. As an offensive guard in the '80s, expecting me to get the ball from the pitcher's mound all the way to the catcher without a few hops is a stretch.
He was also in a beer league.
Okay.
You know, is an adult athlete, and
that's why I
it was
owned home plate.
It was carnage.
There's nothing wrong with that.
A lot of workplace injuries.
See, that's what you get for asking.
It's all right. I like it. All right, Laura, what's your question for me?
For you, okay. All right, it's got to be sports related.
Could be anything. Doesn't have to be
Well,
sports.
okay. What position did you play in baseball?
So I played in Little League, and I wanted to pitch. They let most of us pitch out there, but I did not get the opportunity to do it, which that's what I wanted to see if I could do it. So as I got older, my buddy who did play in college, I would practice with him. And I felt pretty good about the last time I was on the mound because I was in front of an actual baseball player. But I was out in the outfield. I am a basketball player. I am not a baseball player.
All right.
But so I can still hit my shot. And I will say this, and I've proven it multiple times on camera. I say, if you give me 5 shots to make a half court shot, if you give me 5, I'll make 1.
I believe you.
And so
I believe you.
I've done it 4 times on my first try. I did it, the last 2 were on my second try on a court down in Florida. Outside, I did it on my 5th. And I actually beat Brandon Trish in half court knockout. And Gene Waldron just saw me play and saw me hit my second one.
So you have witnesses.
I have witnesses to every time I've done it. So the last 6 or 7, they've all been witnessed.
Well,
And
that's
here in
that's
this
good.
community and
That's
beyond. So my question to John. All right, John. Okay, John. You and I are going to do a travel wake-up call broadcast. We can go anywhere in the world, and we can interview any 3 people. So where are we going to fly to do the broadcast, and what 3 people will be on the show?
So
This is just my way to get on the private jet. This is
we're going to the French Riviera, Nice, France.
okay.
Have to be someplace
Oh, that's
cool,
fancy.
right? And
I like it.
And I'm going to bring Fran Brown.
Okay. I know him a little.
I know him a lot. Chancellor Haney and Brian Blair. Okay, so the friendly amendment, we have now changed location to the airboat in the swamps of Florida with the mission of catching an alligator, because we know Fran Brown is deathly afraid of the alligator airboat thing.
Okay.
But the rest of us should have fun.
Okay. All right. So Fran is not an alligator wrangler.
No.
Okay.
No.
No.
All right. I do like that, though. And you chose.
But Brian Blair is a little known fact. Brian would enjoy it.
Okay.
Fran would not.
What about Haney?
Haney likes the offshore fishing, so
He's a fisherman.
I'm, he might be a little bit sketchy on the whole airboat through the swamps of Florida.
I don't
You can
live.
handle it.
Yeah, I'm not a person that lives with much fear, so I would say bring it on.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome.
All right, John, what's your question for me?
So my question for you is, if we did an alligator hunt and you had to catch a 12-foot alligator, which I have documentation has been done in the past,
Okay.
how long do you think it would take for you to get that alligator into the boat?
That's an excellent question.
That's a very good question. Are we in shallow water?
You're gonna be.
So shallow water, generally less than 10 foot.
But
Okay.
you're in gator infested.
I'm in gator
and
infested.
you've got one of their friends in throes of.
And I've got one of their friends, okay.
But you've never been asked that question before.
And how long is it going to take me to get them in the boat?
Yes.
By yourself.
Oh, my goodness.
Does he have assistance?
Do I have this?
Well, no. He's got to get it in the boat by himself.
Oh, my
That's
goodness.
unfair.
Yeah.
He's a rookie.
I'm going to say, give me a few hours, but I trust my strength. It's going to take me a while, though.
So I will
you.
tell you the answer to the question is never. Because
Oh, I'll do it. I'm not
because
going to give up.
An alligator that size is a 4-person job.
Four-person?
Just for the record.
All right.
And when I say 4-person job, includes me, one of my other college offensive linemen, a
Okay.
young guy who's very strong, very fit. So it's not an easy task.
So I'm going to say, give me Brian in the middle.
Yeah.
I'll take the head. J. Michael can help somewhere with Brian, and Fran gets the tail, so he's farthest from the teeth.
Yeah, there you go. I think that this interview's got spiraled down.
I like it. All right, my question for Laura. So I have my own sandwich in the community at Mother's Cupboard.
Okay.
I have my own breakfast potato at the Baked Potato Express food truck now.
Mm-hmm.
If you could make any dish in the community of Central New York that is yours,
Okay.
what would you make and why?
I even know the answer to that.
So I make it.
Well, you're creating it with a company, so you're bringing this to life. So if it's going to be the Laura Lally, it's your essence. It's something that you love to eat here.
Okay.
So what would that be that you'd be happy if somebody ordered it and you'd be like, yeah, that's mine?
Oh wow. Okay. Well, so then it doesn't have to be my favorite recipe. It's just something that I like to eat when I'm in Syracuse.
Yeah.
God, that's a tough question. I'm so boring. I was gonna do a short rib, like enchilada.
Well, you can do your Lally Love Bomb.
Lally Love Bombs, which I've talked about before, which is my favorite.
Or you can do the breakfast that you get made, your eggs, bacon on English muffin.
Oh yeah, that'd be a breakfast sandwich.
Okay.
Eggs, bacon on a sesame bagel would
On a
be
sesame
my
bagel?
yeah, would be
Okay.
my thing. Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
you can thank me later for helping
Yeah.
out.
Thank you. Yeah.
So from the better softball, baseball player to the lesser, according to Laura,
Yes.
what is your question for your husband?
Oh, okay. Let's see. You know what would have been really fun in this segment, though, that I just thought of?
Go ahead.
What we used to read tweets out to each other in the morning when we were drinking coffee.
Okay.
We just, like, the rudest.
Oh yeah, the mean tweets.
The mean tweets.
Yeah.
And that would have been a fun segment because we could really gone to town on that one.
To read out the mean tweets.
So what's the question? What's my question
Laura,
for
I
John?
don't-
Anything you want?
I don't get any mean
Wait.
tweets.
during the 80s search, the mean tweets. Those were great.
Oh yeah.
Okay, my question for John. What would you, if you went back to school, you started, junior high school, high school,
College.
you go back in time, and you couldn't play football, what sport would you play?
Oh, well, I sucked at basketball. I tried that for 1 year, and the freshman basketball coach was also the varsity football coach. So I wasn't playing a winter sport. So he acquired my skills on that basketball team, so I could run a lot. So I wouldn't do that. That's for
Lacrosse?
sure. Lacrosse, really, and
No, all the sports are there for you. They're available. They are all, you have to
well,
go in
I'm
assuming
going to migrate to something I was really good at.
Okay.
Okay.
So it turns out when I was younger, I didn't wrestle my freshman year, but I did the remainder of my high school career and was a pretty formidable opponent on the wrestling mat.
So wrestling.
So that's the only other thing I think I was really good at.
Okay.
So I mean, you could say shot and discus, but that's kind of boring. So
I was also a wrestler in
I wrestled for fun growing up in like junior high, high school, and my older cousin, who was really good at it, apparently. I went to his house, which is not too far away from here, and I beat him so many times that I got thrown out of his house.
Oh, I like that.
I got sent to the front door to wait for my mom because he had decided that he had lost enough that I wasn't allowed to be in his
I
house anymore.
love that. You shamed him. I love that.
I did. I
Love
used it
that.
against him, and I didn't even know what I was. I'm one of those people where I believe I could do anything. So if you put me in a situation where it's me versus somebody, I'm gonna get after it.
Same. I'm exactly
So,
the same.
for you two, little known fact is I also wrestled Greco-Roman and freestyle and competed against the Swedish national team where I lost to the heavyweight but beat their unlimited guy.
Well,
so just little
In the
tidbit.
Swedish national team.
That's
Okay.
what I'll tell you.
Little high school.
I
you know, high
believe
school
him because
national
when I was unpacking tons of boxes when
Okay.
we moved from New
All
York
right,
State
I'm
to
gonna call.
Florida,
I'm gonna call penalty on this one.
I opened up one box and I pulled out a wrestling singlet, and it
A little bit snug.
causes you pause. Really, you don't really know the man that you're married to until you open up a random box and there's a wrestling singlet in
Okay,
there.
I'm throwing a flag.
That's the fun part, though, is to go to the attic and open up a box or two,
Yeah, yeah.
and really see how well you know each other.
It's a come to Jesus moment. I gotta say.
That's true.
You know this is getting published, right?
So with that being said, for John and Laura Lally, for myself, Dan Tortora, and this edition of Wake Up Call, for the first time ever, here at the Superfield of Dreams, Syracuse Challenger Baseball, here at Carrier Park, I want to thank everyone that is a part of this mission, this vision, and this passion project, for our community and everyone that travels in, and to everybody that has put their heart and soul into this, including the Lallies. I want to thank you for allowing me to talk with you about it, and as always, for reminding me that you speak to no one, but you always speak with me. So thank you for that.
Well,
Awesome.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks again.